This is a tremendous story with a very good ending.
It's an amazing story of survival in the nation's largest urban forest. A father and daughter live among the trees for 4 years. Good evening, I'm Deb Knapp.
And I'm Steve Dunn. Welcome to K2 News Local Plus at 11, where we bring you the most local news plus the top 5 stories outside the Northwest.
First on 2, police say they've never seen anything like it. A family living in the forest, and no one knew they were even there.
Tonight, the father and daughter are back in civilization. K2's Brian Barker live at Forest Park tonight with more. One of the more fascinating stories we've heard in a long time, Brian.
Sure is, Steve. The family's slowly adjusting. This all started when a jogger stumbled across the campsite way back in the woods near the St. John's Bridge. When police finally thrashed their way back to the campsite, what they found stunned them.
5,000 acres of forest, ferns, and footpaths. Forest Park is huge.
I'm amazed. I think it's a cool story.
And hidden somewhere in this dense forest.
It was an organized campsite, rustic, but yet running water with a filtration system with rocks so they could drink the water.
Police found a family, a father and his 12-year-old daughter in a lean-to shelter. They lived here for 4 years, moving to the woods when the father lost his job.
So he was really trying to look out for her best interest. In fact, he was providing homeschooling for this girl, even at a remote site like this.
Police say the dad was worried the state would take his daughter away. He didn't want to raise her on the streets, so this was home.
And the forest out here is so thick, it's not hard to imagine how someone could live just a stone's throw from the trail and never be spotted, living in isolation for 4 years.
They were an hour-and-a-half hike from the nearest road.
That's great, but what about developing socially? Because that's what school's all about.
It's a shock to some for runners like Alice Pierce.
It's interesting, but I'm not surprised. I would actually think there'd be more than just one family.
Lois Fivecoats has lived at the park's edge.
Yeah, you want some dog food?
Communing with nature for 46 years.
No, I'm not surprised that somebody could live up there for 4 years.
An amazing story.
They're healthy, they're working, they're together.
Police now helping them return to society.
Of course, it's against the law to live out here in Forest Park, so police from the North Precinct will use their community connections to get the father a job and the family a place to live. We understand mom is out of the picture. Police being very protective about their identity, though. After 4 years in the woods, we understand they are not interested in any sort of publicity. We are live in Forest Park tonight. Brian Barker, K2 News.
Certainly an interesting story. Thanks, Brian.
Our other top story tonight, new information about a father and his teenage daughter who spent 4 years living in Portland's largest park.
The two carved out an existence in Forest Park. Jet Ranger 2 is live over the densely forested area where the two lived. They set up camp in a part of the park so remote, it took police more than an hour to reach it through heavy weeds and brush.
K2's Ed Teachat was the first television reporter to investigate this case, and he joins us now live. Ed?
Well, we're live near Highway 30 on Northwest Saltzman Road, where the dad and daughter we affectionately now call the Forrest family frequently walk down. Police say about a mile from here, up into Forest Park, is where the father, Frank, and his daughter he calls Ruthie, lived. Home for the Forrest family. Imagine living 4 years under a tarp in a remote part of the nation's largest urban forest.
The daughter is extremely well educated. She's very well mannered. The father likewise. Their clothing was clean. They're wonderful people.
Inside the Forrest house, a dirt couch or bed, a stack of old encyclopedias and a Bible from which Dad home or Forrest schooled his daughter, and a doll a child obviously has played with for some time.
There were toys up there, there were stuffed animals up there, but clearly they did not have an overabundance of anything.
Known only as Frank and Ruth, they built this pond from a small stream for water, cooked from a kettle. A nice campsite, but home for 4 years?
Yeah, they would walk up and walk all the way up to the top.
Folks who saw the Forrest family say they never alerted authorities because they told them they didn't need anyone's help.
No, I've asked him a few times, did he need any food or anything? I said, look, we got a whole freezer full of food. And he said, no, he had it under control.
But how could a 53-year-old father with a 12-year-old daughter survive in this thick, dense forest for 4 years? Well, police say Frank's a smart guy, college educated. He's also an ex-Marine who served 2 tours in Vietnam. Knows how to survive in the woods.
Well, he does better than surviving. He actually made it into quite a positive experience for both he and his daughter.
Police say background checks prove Mom is legally out of the picture. So why would a father with no job but a $400 a month disability check hide in the forest? Those that saw them on their weekly walks out of the woods to church, the library, and to buy food say it was a father's fear society might separate him from the one he loves.
And I think that, you know, if society wasn't so hard on single dads and stuff and, you know, homelessness and not having jobs and stuff, I think that he would have maybe not been hiding in the woods.
We're now live back near Forest Park, where Portland police from the North Precinct have actually helped out. They've now got some temporary living quarters for both Frank and Ruth. They've also helped find him a job. But the father says he doesn't want to accept any money. They're just too proud. But police say he was ecstatic when he heard that Katu wanted to help Ruthie go to college. So if you'd like to help out, Katu has set up a college fund called Ruthie's College Fund. You can donate at any Bank of America branch starting tomorrow at 10 o'clock. That's to help Ruthie get some cash to go to college. And I think that would be a really good idea. I mean, from the police I've talked to them know this family say they're just wonderful, and she is quite the young lady. Live near Forest Park, Ed Teachout, K2 News.
This is such a fascinating story. We'll continue to follow it.